Boyle, and I'm quitting alcohol. So the demographic stuff gets a little bit spicy, doesn't it? Do people enjoy the demographic stuff? I love it. I froth on it. Someone sent me an article today, very interesting article. They sent it through Ask Boyle. It was from The Guardian, and it's called, what is it called? Europe's Population Crisis, See How Your Country Compares, Visualized. And it has this map where it fucking shows projected change in population by the year 2100 with migration and without migration. And look, it's bleak. It's bleak without migration. And for the people of Europe, it's probably bleak with migration. For the people in the country that live there and grew up there, it's probably bleak with migration too. But there's a little article, or there's a little story at the bottom of this place in Italy, Camini or some shit like that. And I looked into it, and it was one of the small rural towns in Italy, and it was just dying. I think it was a very small population, and it was pretty much the exact story I told of the hypothetical rural town. Young people left for the city because there was no opportunity. Everything closed down. No people were there. They shut down the last restaurant. There was a school, but it only had one class. And then they decided to do an immigration program. So they brought in like 150 people from Afghanistan, Tunisia, Pakistan, fucking, where else was there? Syria. And I went to a different article and started reading about how everyone's getting along. And the Italians there are like, well, if they hadn't come, we would have had to have left. And the immigrants there who had got shipped into there are like, there's no one here. we thank them for taking us in, but we miss our home. We miss where we're from, and there's not a lot of opportunity here. So eventually our kids are going to have to leave, and our livelihood will depend on where they go and what happens with them, which is a story as a tale as old as time. You have kids, you look after the kids, they look after you as you get older. That's how it works. That's how it's always worked. A few generations forgot the look after part, though. Anyway, so there's that story about Camini, and then I started digging a little deeper into Spain. And I got some messages, there's some comments and shit about what did Lewis call it? Lewis called it, Boyle, this is the controlled demolition of Europe, mate. Europeans priced out of having kids because of a 2-wage household. So no kids, immigrants get flown in. 0 or 1 wage household given a free house, benefits, and they get paid more for each kid they have. This is simple. It's not quite that simple. If it was a purely economic thing, the highest birth rates in the world would not be sub-Saharan Africa. Lewis, your argument doesn't hold when the birth rates in the poorest part of the world are the highest. And then you might say, well, they need to have more kids because they're fucked if they don't have kids. Yes, that's the real argument. That's the argument. In the West, things got extremely comfortable for an extremely long time, and you didn't have to have kids. You didn't have to have a shit ton of kids to work the farm and support your family. Contraception came in so you could choose when you wanted to have kids, but when you get to choose and life is good, you don't choose to have kids, do you? You go on holidays and then you're like, I'll have it later. And then you're like, I have a fear of commitment. And then you're like, no, I like my free time. I'm not going to have kids. And then eventually you look around and there's no other white Europeans around. And you're like, they're trying to replace us. They're trying to replace us. And you're like, what? We begged you to have kids. We were screaming and yelling, have kids, have kids. We're giving you the baby bonus. In Australia, the baby bonus. We're going to give you the baby bonus. Paternity leave, maternity leave. Just take it. Just have some goddamn kids. There is an element, Lewis. I'm being slightly facetious, but not entirely facetious. There is an element of what you're saying. Now we feel it. Now everyone feels it. Now people are like, all right, I kind of do want to have kids now, but I'm never going to have a fucking house. Childcare is fucking expensive. Everything is insanely expensive and seems to be only going up. There's no stability. There's no future. There seems to be no future. What is AI going to do? What's climate change going to do? There's a lot of unknowns. But that's not how it was 10, 15 years ago. People were let's say 20 years ago. I remember I grew up during this period. I was in my 20s during this period. Life was easy. Life was good. People had money. No one wanted to have kids. People would laugh. Fuck kids. I don't want to have kids. Now people are like, oh, they're replaced. No, I fucking was there. None of my friends have kids. Like 4 of them do. The 4 ones who grew up in stable homes have kids. Actually, that's 3. 3 of them. I was there. I was there during this period where no one wanted to have kids. None of my girlfriends wanted to have kids. None of the girls I knew. No one wanted to have fucking kids. That is the fucking long and the short of it. Anyone in their 20s during the early 2000s, early 2010s were like, fuck that. I'm not having kids. I'm going to go see the world. I want to do things. I want to do things with my life. And now everyone's like, oh, I'm fucking priced out of the mortgage rental fucking. No. You don't have a house for the same reason I don't have a house, because we spent like 20 years tearing it up. Going, fuck that. I don't want to be locked down to a fucking house. But also, I'm on your side, Lewis. The mass immigration thing is fucked. It's not good. That is certainly done deliberately to ignite tensions and cause rifts between people. That is for certain, because you can do this mathematically. You could do it. You could figure it out. You could do the exact numbers, replace here, do here, certain types of immigration. But why would they want to do that? It's better when you get angry at someone else gets angry at you. They pay for an immigrant's house, which makes you angrier. So you attack someone, then the police come in, then everything gets ignited. If they're paying for an immigrant's house, it's not because they don't care about you. It's because they want you to react in a certain way. It's the old switcheroo. You bomb the shit out of people in Africa, and then you get them to move to the new country, and then you pay for their house, and then the locals get fucking pissed. I remember speaking to a Swedish guy in India. Remember I did that ad years ago? That fucking ad where I was like a gay dude or something? Didn't have to act real hard. And he's like, I will never go back to Sweden. He's like, in the apartment building that I lived in, that I bought an apartment in, and he was a welder and his missus was working for IKEA and he was playing golf all day. He seemed to be loving life in India, that's for sure. But he was saying the apartment building, you can go back to this episode. This is like fucking 5 years ago, 6 years ago, 7 years ago. No, not 7 years ago, 6 years ago, maybe 5. You can go back to it. But he was saying the building where he bought his apartment, which he paid good money for, he's like, that apartment ended up being filled with immigrants. I forget if it was like, I think Muslims or black people or black Muslims. But he's like, they got put into the apartment building for free. They just gave them the apartments. And so that bought the value of his apartment. He's like, I worked my whole life for that apartment and the value went down immediately. And then within like 2 or 3 years, it became too dangerous even to walk in and out of the building. He's like, I'm never going back to fucking Sweden again. That part of it is true, which is your part of it. The controlled demolition part. The part where the people in control are like, we don't give a fuck about the native people, nor do we give a fuck about the refugees we just bombed. Let's throw them all in together and see what happens, because a police state is our goal, and that may be the quickest way to get there. Let's see what happens. Let's fucking mix it up in the old powder keg. And people's reactions are going to be the ignition. People message me like I don't understand that part of it. I 110 understand that part of it. As a white Australian who grew up in white Australia, I fully understand how fucking jarring. Should I really even be saying this when my family is mixed now? But I understand, like, you look around and you're like, you expect it to be Australia, and you look around and you're like, oh, this isn't Australia anymore. Something has gone on here and it's much different to what I remember. You think I'm unaware of that part? I heard about replacement theory in like the early 2000s or something. I didn't hear about it last week. You forget that I was like deep into conspiracy theories that have all turned out to be true 20 years ago. So you're just like, people are just coming into these conspiracy theories, and they're not even conspiracy theories. There is a lot of truth to it, but there's also a rational argument to be made in the demographic destruction of the Western world due to lack of reproduction. There's a sinister element and a rational element, but people come in like, oh, this conspiracy. I'm like, yeah, all right, I'm on board with it, but like, I heard that 20 years ago. I was like balls deep in it before there was like iPhones, okay? I remember speaking to a lot of the people who are now what you would consider like informed. Do your own research. I remember speaking to most of them about all of this stuff in the single digit 2000s. I remember walking down the street with my mate Will, rest in peace Will Thomas, as he's morphing in and out of different characters. And I was like, we're being replaced. There's going to be no white people left eventually. And then he just turned into like a wizard or something. And then was like, yeah, agreeing with me, just going, you're missing the point, Boyle. You're missing the entire point of what I'm showing you. And I'm like, okay, all right, I'm refocusing. So, yes, Lewis, yes, there is a controlled demolition going on in Europe. There has been a previous controlled demolition. There's been two. They were called World War I and World War II. And the way NATO is building up in Europe, there's every possibility there's going to be an actual controlled demolition of Europe. So I would be more concerned about that. That is the one I would be worried about. Anyway, I appreciate I appreciate everyone just commenting, letting me in on the inside information, sending me links. I do enjoy all of it. Some of it pisses me off a little bit, but, you know. Can you tell? Can you tell some of it pisses me off from this rant that I've been on for the last 20 minutes? Anyway, fucking, I love you all. Just don't kill each other. That's all you need to do. Just don't react in anger all the time. Take a deep breath. I've been practicing it on the roads of Boston and I'm getting better. I'm not losing my shit as much. If you need to practice anger control, you got to do it on the streets of Boston. Anyway, fucking, that'll do it for tonight, and I'll see you the fuck later.